This channel is for educational purposes only. Please do your own due diligence before making any investment decisions. Hi, it's Joe. Today we want to talk about the market. I'm going to go through and look at a number of different indices and markets just to be sure you have a kind of an idea of what's going on after the volatility that we've seen. So I'm going to get into that. First, though, I do want to make mention of something. I had someone ask me about this, so I want to make sure everyone knows. So I've been doing shows for Stock Charts TV. If you go to stockcharts.com and click on Stock Charts TV, that tab, you can scroll down and find me, or you can go to the episodes and go and look for Stock Talk. That's it right there. Stock Talk's the name. But my recommendation, actually, to make it easy on you, is hit on the On Demand tab. And you can just search for Stock Talk. And that will pop up right there. And when you click on it, this will have all of the shows. All the episodes are here. And the first one being back in here, and then you could go through and watch if you want. You have to sign up for the on-demand, but the benefit to this is that if you do it this way, you can watch, if you have a Roku or a Fire Stick streaming, you can actually do that from your TV, especially if you have a big screen. You can look at the big charts and everything. So that is an option if you do this on demand. So I just wanted to mention that. And I had been remiss. I have not been bringing that up at all. And my show is every Thursday at 2:30. It replays over and over again. But if you do the on-demand, you can watch it whenever you want. So let's go ahead and get into the market. So SPY is where we're going to start. Now, just to bring look at this and bring it up to speed. We've got an extended market on the monthly. We've gotten a little too far away from the 18-month line. So we've been looking for some type of a pullback or consolidation or something like that. The momentum conditions aren't bad on the monthly, but we could probably use some type of a little pullback. Now, on the weekly chart, the momentum has not been good. This has been the kind of the key time frame. Notice how price continues to trade, make higher highs and higher lows in an orderly fashion. We've got an 18 and the 40 that are parallel, and we've come down again to test the 18-week. What's bothering me is we've got an MACD line that is not making new highs with price, and we have ADX line that's been making lower highs, and now all of a sudden we not only broke this horizontal trend line that I've been talking about, but now red DI is actually broken out above the green and above 25. This is a pretty big warning flare. Okay, it doesn't necessarily. So you know what we need to see? We need to see this hold, just like we always do on a stock or on the market or any time frame. So to get confirmation, we're going to kind of need this to come back and hold above green, prove itself. But we've got rising volatility, and so I'm not going to pull up that chart of the ATR, but just suffice to say that the volatility is going up. So a lot of times volatility precedes a price turn to the downside. So what could be happening is we're breaking this trend line. Maybe what we're going to do is come up and test this high, and the volatility should stay up during the test. That'll be the key. Pull up an ATR of the S&P or the Spider if you want, and just see if that 20 ATR as this market rallies up is staying high. If it's staying high and it's not re-breaking to the downside, then I think there's pretty good odds that we're going to come back down again. So that's something I am definitely keying on. We're rallying back up to the declining 18. We've got pretty strong DI, negative DI with pretty good volume on the daily chart. So we're coming up into a really key area here. If price ends up pushing up through these two lines, then I'm going to cool off on how bearish I would be if it fails. So in other words, if this fails here, I'm going to get pretty bearish. I would be pretty bearish. I'd be pretty concerned about what's going on. If this pushes up, then I'm more inclined to think that we're going to probably form like a range in here as opposed to making a lower low. So just some things we definitely need to key on this market. Now, the way to do this is we've rallied up to the 18 and the 40 area. So what do? We draw in our trend line on the hourly chart. We look for a 1, 2, 3 to develop. And if it plays out that way, what you might do is come in the zone between the 18 and the 40 here, come in the zone and then come back out. And that'll be the trend line break in the 2. And then we come back down through here and you got your confirmation that the trend is shifting right back down to the downside below the 18-day and potentially failing at the 18-week. These are the types of things that I'd be watching, that I'm going to be watching. One thing I'll just tell you is that green DI has been pretty strong in here. And we've gotten enough of a move in the green DI to get the ADX to move back above 25. So this is not a weak rally. This has pretty good strength. So it's very possible it's going to come down and wallow around in here rather than just go straight down to new lows. So that's why I don't know that I would necessarily just short on a trend line break. But you want to be aware of what's happening here and expect volatility to stay high right now. Okay, so these are all pretty important concepts I want to make sure we're covering. Volatility is up right now. Expect that to continue for now. The only way that would not be the case is if this just goes right up through here and then just starts to, and without a lot of big bars, maybe gives back a little bit, not much at all, holds these moving averages and then starts to turn up. I mean, if it plays out that way, then we're in an incredibly bullish environment that this could make another big leg to the upside and it'll ignore this little spike here. I'm not in that camp. That's not what I'm thinking is going to happen. I think it's going to, at a minimum, I think we're going to spend some time channeling sideways. Let's look at the Qs. So the neat thing about the Qs, so the Qs have a stronger momentum condition on the monthly. They have a stronger momentum condition on the weekly chart. Look at how this just came right back to the 18 week and bounced right off of it. So does that mean it's going to hold it again? No, but I mean, it's pretty amazing when you look at these lines, how accurate they are. It pretty much came down to it. I mean, within a couple ticks and is now bouncing off. Now this doesn't have as much decline on the daily 18, but it is below and it is rolling over and we have negative DI showing up. So same thing holds here. If this is going to work, to the downside, we're going to get that same pattern to develop, I think. And the reason why I'm not looking for a big, fast down move, I think this might take a few days to roll over, is because of the strength of the rally. So that's where I am right now on those markets. I do want to mention this IWM because let's look at the spider. So the spider went and made a lower low. Here's the August low, and here's the low for that just took place, okay? Now, look at what happened in IWM. This is actually making a higher bottom. That's relative strength. That's important to me because of what's been going on here on the weekly chart. Look at how this has been working sideways, and now we're finally getting the 18 and the 40 coming pretty close together, and we're almost getting the MACD back down to the zero line. If you've been watching this Friday show for any length of time, really over the last month or two, I've been talking about this for months. I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. So, you know, one of the things the reason why I wanted to mention the show on Stock Talk is that I go through a lot of stock requests. So if you have an interest in any stocks, you can go to email stocktalk@stockcharts.com if you want to send in your stock requests, and I'll get it in on the next show, or at least try. So anyway, look at what this IWM is doing. Working sideways, tight pattern. Pretty interesting, I think. So it's getting closer. It's still not there yet, but it's getting very, very close. I wanted to look at TNX real quick. Look at the day this is having, breaking out of this low ADX condition. We're at 1.41. I think we want to work our way up towards resistance, which is probably up 1.5 to 1.6, something like that. This is pretty interesting. The 18-month is turning back to the upside for the first time since 2019. So this is an encouraging sign for a couple different areas. So one thing I wanted to, before I go into the sectors, look at what happened to Bitcoin. Look at this 18-week line. I was talking about the ability for this to come back and test this area after moving up. Look at how it came back and held the 18-week. Now, I mean, again, it might come back down and break that line. You know that if it breaks this 40 level, that's really important. So we want to be on the lookout for that. But if we can get back up through the 18-day line and start to show signs of improvement and zero line reversal, turning at the 18-week with the strong monthly trend, I think you got to start taking Bitcoin seriously again, that maybe it's ready for another leg to the upside. So pretty critical point here for Bitcoin. Look at what happened to XLE. So again, look at this difference. See how this made a higher low when the market made a lower low. And now we're at a new high in the move for the last 3 or 4 months. So that's pretty important in the XLE. Look at XLF. Nice move off the bottom. Now, this did make a lower low here, but it has been showing nice improvement, and it's been in the middle of a consolidation pattern. A lot of the stocks look very attractive, and a lot of the stocks did hold this low in the banking area. So anyway, just wanted to give you an update on those sectors. You might want to even look at XLB as well. So look inside, look in this inside of these sectors in the individual stocks, probably some interesting patterns developing there. And I wouldn't be surprised if some stocks are already breaking out. So anyway, that's the update for the week. Post any comments or questions, and we'll see you next time.